Hey there. There's been some updates with the Lumberjack Simulator map making, and at the moment it's fully supported in the game. Now I'll go through some things that should be sufficient to get you started with making your own maps. We have a project here that I'll share that is very similar to the project I shared last year for map making. There's been some items were removed because it was really bloated and more than 6 GB. This one is about 1.5 GB. Um, and there's a couple of scripts added that enable you to place different functional items as well as different vehicles already on the map. And later there's going to be extensions to this script so that more and more objects will be able to be placed on the map. So the map itself is made in Unity, and it's a standard terrain that you can edit with the standard Unity terrain editing, or you can use any of the tools that work with standard Unity terrains, which includes the River Auto Material or MapMagick or any other terrain generator, importer, or whatever you want to use. As long as it works with the standard Unity terrain, it will continue to work. Um, for terrain texturing, still we use the Megasplat terrain painter. So the terrain painter has this terrain paint panel where you have to select the example palette every time, and then you can choose the brush size and, for example, the material, and then you can go into your scene. You can paint that material somewhere on the map. When you're done, you have to press save here, so it saves the texture, and yeah, pretty simple. With the terrain paint, when you don't use it, you just turn off the active, so you get your normal cursor. Painting, again, you can raise and lower terrain, import, use different brushes. You can create even new brushes with any texture that you would like. So, for example, I think I have some brushes that are like black and white, and that are looking like mountains, and those can be used to raise and lower terrain in different shapes. I'm not sure if I can find it, but anyway, if you go on the internet and you search like a height map image, like a black and white image of a terrain, you can use it as a brush. Painting trees is pretty standard. You can paint multiple trees on any area. You can also remove trees or whatever you need to do. I'm just going to change the tree distance so that you can see a little bit more, and I'm going to change the detail distance so we can see, at least in the editor, this is not going to affect the game, so we can see in the editor where are the trees. So it's quite easy to remove the trees or place the trees. That's pretty rough, but yeah, that's how it works. Bigger, smaller brush size. different density. Yeah. Works kind of nice. So the main important thing is that all the custom objects that are added besides the terrain are placed in this prefab, and the name of the prefab needs to start with LVL, as in level, and then dash, and then it has to have your specific prefix that you already have from previous mod making, and then just the name. You can end it with a number if you want, you don't have to. So this is going to be important later when we are going to share these levels on Steam. But for now, we're just going to test it in local mode, so that's not important. So here I have a couple of objects. I have the mod player spawn. This is a place where the player is going to spawn initially. Definitely need to have that, otherwise it's not going to work. The place where the player can buy and sell the vehicles, it's basically on the ADM object, and you have this icon on the ground where the vehicles are going to be spawned. This is going to enable players to buy vehicles. And then the log selling area, again ATM, and the icon on the ground where the player can sell logs. And I have a couple of houses which are just graphics objects. And you can put really any graphic object that you find on the internet, any kind of asset package or whatever. You just need to put it in this level prefab, the main prefab. Garage is the garage where the player will be able to buy these standard upgrades for standard vehicles. You have the placeholder so you can see where the door is gonna be, and it doesn't have the textures here, but that doesn't matter because this is just a placeholder. So the way this works is that there's a script, and then it has a prefab name, so the game knows what to load in the spot where this is made. So for example, if I look at the player spawn, it has the name of the player prefab, and so on. So if I want to spawn, for example, I want to spawn maybe, let's say I want to spawn the pickup truck. I'll create another object here. Now actually it's all the way there, so one easy way to work is to double click on an already existing object and then click on your new object and select game object, move to view. It's going to move it exactly on the place where you're already at, so then you can just move it somewhere, let's say here. And then I'm going to add script plus mod place level prefab. So I can select a prefab name from one of the existing prefabs, for example, pickup, and this will spawn the pickup truck here. The blue arrow normally points in the forward direction, so if you want to place it next to something, for example, like this. Oh, it's showing me the global axis. Yeah. So this should create a pickup truck somewhere here on the side of this house. Since we added something, it has this little plus sign, so we have to go and select override, apply all override. So anytime you move something, you definitely, or add new object, you need to apply the override. If you edit the terrain, you're going to need to open this prefab in the prefab mode, and you need to do the save within this menu, which is going to save all the trees and all the textures onto terrain. So pretty much when you're done, you go into the prefab mode, press save, make sure you disable the overrides if there are any overrides, and then more or less it's pretty much the same standard way that we export prefabs. We have prefab asset bundle, which is named exactly the same as your level. If you change that name here, you're going to have to change it in your asset bundle as well. And then when you're done, you just go into the assets and build asset bundle windows. Alright, so when the building of the prefab is done, you can go into the game mods menu, local mods, and you'll find your LVL mod in the list of other mods. What you need to do is just click on it. Alright, so we loaded here, and we got our pickup truck right there. The vehicle is gonna ask us to buy it now, and for now you cannot set the initial cash for the level. I'll add that. So for now, just use the no cash way. Yeah. So this is where the logs will be sold, and the vehicles. Over here. So you can, these are the standard vehicles, and these are the vehicle mods. You can get, for example, the pickup trailer, and pretty much play the game.